Hello, welcome back to Gasbbuteo Tabletop Football, where we've had a question, and that is from someone called Phono Jam, and they want to know what are the in-house rules for solo keepers, because they've noticed that I tend to keep the solo keeper within the 6-yard box there, and rather than moving them out to block the goal a bit further. Right, now, before we get into that, let's just remember that I have been writing over the last sort of 6 months a how to play Gasbbuteo style set of rules, and these rules are sort of at the minute fairly fluid. I'm sort of adding to them as I go. This is version 1, but I think on the computer I'm up to about version 4 now, and I'm sort of adapting them as I'm playing through Gasbbuteo League, so they are likely to change, but the general gist of solo play use keepers is that I want to sort of set up a sort of rule base so that you can interchange traditional stick figures for goalkeepers or solo play keepers and be able to play both for either solo play or dual play, two-person play games. So that's a sort of premise behind the rules that I'm trying to create there. And if we can go through that, and I can sort of explain how that works. So with a normal stick keeper, obviously you've got a range of movement, and that is within that 6-yard box, and that's effectively unlimited. Now, because I use solo play keepers more, I didn't want to sort of lose that sort of fluidity and that freedom to move the keeper around. So what I've said in the rules is that as long as the keeper stays within the 6-yard box, much like when you have a stick, then you've effectively got unlimited moves at any time when you're defending, or in fact, if you just want to move your keeper around to a better place. So you can effectively move him all the time, pick him up, move him 20 times per go if you like. Right. Now, that doesn't preclude him from going outside the 6-yard box, but what I say in my rules that if he does leave that box and goes outside, he then becomes effectively like an infield player. So he has to stick a little bit more to the rules of defensive play. So for instance, if the keeper was out here, you can only move him back in by way of one defensive move when the attacking team has taken their flick on the ball. Much like you flick one of your players, your defensive players, in a defensive move as well. So your choice would be attacking team flicks the ball. You can either then flick a defensive player, or if you didn't want to move that, move your keeper back into the 6-yard box where, again, he has unlimited moves. Now, I know what you're thinking, and I've thought about this. If you've got your hand down here all the time, moving this solo play keeper around, is that going to in some way impede someone taking a shot on goal? I thought of that, and you can think of that with a simple use of like handball, right? So what I've got in the rules is that you can move this keeper about as many times as you want, as often as you like within the box. But if your hand blocks the ball, so effectively your hand touches the ball when it's shot into goal, or you're holding on to the goalkeeper when it's shot into goal and sort of use it as a sort of tool to bash the ball away, effectively if your hand affects the ball in any way, shape or form, then that's classed as some sort of handball, and a penalty is awarded to the attacking team. So then, it creates a situation there where you can move him about freely in that 6-yard box, but as soon as someone has taken a shot on goal, you've effectively got to place him and get your hand out of the way because you don't want to give away a penalty. And I'm sort of testing that out, and it certainly works as solo play. And I think it would work if we had like a 2-player game as well. And it just gives you, it emulates the sort of space that a stick figure has anyway, because a stick figure can't really reach outside that 6-yard box at any rate. And also it gives you the freedom if you want to move your keeper right out. I don't know if you can even see that on the camera. Oh yeah, you can. So if you wanted to move your keeper right out there, you can do that. That's your choice. But then moving him back means you've got to be a bit more strategic. You can't just bring him back like that. You've got to think, right, that's going to be my defensive move to move him back. Or in fact, your defensive move to move him to another part of the pitch if you so choose. So in theory, let me zoom you out. What you on? In theory, if you could move your keeper out, fair enough, right? And then the other player takes a flick on the ball. You can then use your defensive move to either move him back in there or in fact move him further up the pitch if you so choose. I think that would be a bit stupid, but you never know, there could be a situation comes up to do that. So I hope that sort of explains where I'm trying to go with the solo play keeper rules in Gasbbuteo style, how to play. All right, mate? Any further questions, put them in the comments, and well, hopefully that explains it. All right, mate? Cheers then. Up the gas.